Hello, and welcome to Elementary, the first episode for 2024. And Happy New Year. I hope wherever you're watching from, you're having a fabulous year so far. I mean, it's day 2? Anyhow, either way, I hope it's as fabulous, and I hope the year turns out to be everything you want it to be, full of endless possibilities. Today, I want to talk about, let's call this show 2024 predictions. So everyone's talking about predictions. And I typically don't do a video predicting because I don't have a crystal ball. And even if I did, I probably could not tell you anything that may or may not come true. Anyhow, so the way the show works is, feel free to drop questions. This is live. It's not pre-recorded, not scripted. We just talk about things that you might be interested in. Some days I have a guest. Today, I'm flying solo. So, in saying that, I hope you spent your 2024, ringing in the 2024, absolutely enjoying it with the people you love and really cherishing this new chapter that you're about to unfold. A lot of us, for me, it's important to take a moment to really reflect. I'm not one that does New resolutions. I don't do resolutions, but I do look back, and I do look back to at things as my year progresses, and definitely towards the end of the year while I'm planning for the next year, just to figure out what I could do better and what I need to improve on, and what is important, what's important to my clients, what's important to my viewers, and so on and so forth. And we can all kind of do a little deep dive and improve and get better and just do better. So in saying that, I hope your 2024 is full of endless possibilities. And I hope that whatever you wish comes true. For me, I hope whatever I wish comes true. But either way, it's going to be a good year. It's going to be a fabulous year, and I can tell you that much. So I start off the show saying this is going to be about predictions. And who the hell am I to tell you what predictions are? Like, who am I to tell you what's going to happen? I don't have a crystal ball, and really crystal balls don't work. Let me read to you this quote by Laurence J Peters, right? It says, an economist is an expert who knows tomorrow why the things he predicted yesterday didn't happen today. So that should tell you enough about predictions. Having said that, we're going to have a little bit of fun and talk about, where the market's headed, what are some things that you're probably going to see. And as we speak right now, there's a fair bit of inventory. Depending on where you are, some areas are better than others. Some areas are hurting. Like, for example, Peel. Peel has a lot of inventory on the market. And so, yeah, there's choices out there. However, depending on which area you're in and which area you're looking to buy and which area you're looking to move to, the market is very different. So what do I see for next year? It's really hard to predict. However, in saying this, you also have to understand that, everything needs to go exactly as planned, right? And for example, where we're headed with inflation, where we're headed with, these ships that are 4 to 5 big transport people, I don't know, whoever runs these transportation places, they're not even taking their product through the Suez Canal. So what does that say for cost, for shipping costs, and for everything else? And so if things don't kind of settle down, I don't see how we could make a dent in whatever we're doing. It seems like it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. However, who am I to doom and gloom this prediction for 2024? So in saying that, I will say that the housing market is really strange, and really strange because the demand hasn't gone away. People still need to live somewhere. People still want to buy. We still have a lot of immigrants coming to this country this year. So where do we see this market going? So let's start with interest rates. And that's, I think, the key component of everything else, right? The interest rates are what's really kind of driving or not driving a lot of people's decisions to buy or sell. And some people are just priced out of the market because they can't afford, while the Bank of Canada rate is 5%, right now the variable rates are much higher than the fixed rates. And I don't think we've seen that happen in forever. So typically variable rates are lower than the fixed rates, but right now the variable rates are higher than the fixed rates. So for people who are looking at, jumping into the market and probably refinancing, they're the ones who are, sidelining, sitting on the sidelines. Plus we have, I think, over 2 million mortgages coming up for renewal. And it would be interesting to see where those land and if some people are truly going to be hurting. But one thing I will say is before you throw the towel in, so to speak, do whatever you can to make it work for you. Because just because you say, hey, I'm walking away from this house doesn't mean you don't have to pay, right? Like there's so much implication and complication with that piece. But with regard to the rates, when do we see some relief in sight? According to, January 24th, I believe, is the next announcement. Do I think there's going to be a cut? I don't, but who am I to say? I'm just, me. I don't think there will be a cut. I think, the inflation hasn't really truly dipped as they anticipated. So I think they might hold on a bit longer. And I think the Bank of Canada is of the mindset that maybe if they cut, quite possibly that frenzy will start up again for the spring market. So do I think they're going to cut in maybe April? I think so. Some people are saying summer. Some people are saying April. I think there's going to be about 3/4 basis point cuts, but who knows, right? Like anything can change, things can happen. So people are predicting maybe April, maybe at the tail end of summer, and maybe in December. And that ought to keep the market a little more stable. Having said that, people, last few videos I did, I mentioned about how people are, walking away from deposits from brand new homes. Now, there are a couple of homes that I have in the outer lying areas that the builder hasn't either been able to sell those homes, or maybe people haven't closed. I'm not quite sure what the rationale is for those homes not being sold, but the builder has only for certain specific homes are offering like a 3.99. Now, when we talk about 3.99, what you have to understand is not all mortgages are equal, right? So what I would say to people, I know sometimes people get so stuck on this rate that they forget to see everything else. But a good mortgage is not just a rate. It's really, what's the penalty? What other clauses are in there? Is it like a traditional mortgage, or you're going to get stuck with these people for the rest of your life? I mean, some mortgages are pretty intense, and you don't want to get into like these bad discounted products. But a lot of people that I'm noticing are looking at different alternate lenders, not alternate as in B lenders, but like smaller players who are a little more competitive, who actually want to keep a customer and a client as opposed to losing them. Like the big banks don't care. Like you go to the big banks, gone are the days where you go to the bank, and say, hey, this bank is offering me whatever. Back in the day, the bank would say, yeah, no problem, I'll match it, right? This day, the banks have no loyalty to you. They're pretty much saying, okay, well, yeah, if you're getting a better rate, go ahead, right? So, those are some of the things we've noticed. So when it comes down to it, what do I think for rate cuts? I think it's going to be April, late summer, and then maybe December. But that's just me. I'm just reading what some of the economists, and remember I gave you the definition of economist, but I'm just reading what they're saying. Now, some of them are a little more aggressive. They're saying, hey, no, it's going to be like 4 cuts. They're going to do that more often. Some people are saying they're going to be a cut this January. I don't think so. I think it's a little early, and I don't think it will happen. But who knows? If it is, great, because it will kind of restart this market. This market's been pretty cricketish these days. It's it's been pretty dead. So that's what I'll say about the other thing, about rates. So what am I seeing in the last little while is brand new homes. Like every time you listen to what's going on, it's like these house fires seem to be a thing of 2023. Hopefully they remain in 2023 and don't come along in 2024, because it really kind of just delays the process even more. It's strange how so many brand new homes are going up in flames, and so to speak, going up in flames. But anyways, so I mean, that's been like in the news quite often, right? These days about someone arsonist in some area or the other. And, so these homes, I mean, it just kind of delays the process for you getting the home. And I'm sure some of them, most of these homes that I'm seeing that are going on the market, there are, people who have, who are investors who've put in money into these homes. Couple of them I've reported to you in some of the videos I've done. They've had at least like, 200,000 or 300,000 or 350, up to 350. I've seen people walk away from like $350,000 because they could not close. And a couple of things, somebody mentioned on my, one of the videos I did on YouTube, someone mentioned, oh, why would someone not close and then try to resell it down the road? I think what people don't understand is when people are taking, I think when you decide to buy real estate, you cannot do this thinking you're dealing with, stocks or something to that effect, right? People are using homes in the same order, right? There's so much variables that can happen from now until the time. And I think they've seen such a hot market that people haven't really kind of seen, or don't choose to remember, when the market goes the other way, what could happen. So what then happens is if you're at 2% and you've bought this house and it's like $2 million or whatever, when you get to close, or 2.4, whatever the house is, when you're closing on these homes, your mortgage is now doubled or tripled because the rates are in upwards of 6 or 7%. So that's really what's happening. People don't have the income to qualify for that. The fact of, typically what they say is, about 100,000 in income will get you about 400, maybe 450. There's so many variables that go in. So please don't, take that as, the absolute, but it's kind of in that range, right? So about 100,000 will give you about 400,000, 450. I mean, there's not really nothing you can buy for that these days. Maybe a small little condo somewhere far, but, that's kind of what you'll get. Now, one of the things that Royal LePage actually has done is they've predicted that the housing market in next year will go up 5.5%. So, right now, I know people chuckle when I say, hey, there are deals to be had. There are deals to be had. Homes are staying on the market a little longer. The pricing is still strong, but we've gotten away from that bidding war aspect. So, in a few pockets, people are pricing a little under, and, they may still have a little bit of wiggle room, and people understand that. But you truly have to understand the price of the house in each of those areas, wherever you decide to buy, in order to know, good value for it, right? So in saying that, it's still a great time to buy. And I know people are looking at me going, what are you saying? It's not a good time to buy. I think it's a great time to buy. It's a great time to buy because demand hasn't gone away. And the moment the rates start dropping, that's when everybody's going to come into the market and they're going to start to want to buy. And then you're going to get back into this whole bidding war because really, you're not going to see, the inventory is the inventory. We didn't solve our housing problem in the last couple of years, right? So I think it's still going to be an issue, but that's just my take on it. Anyways, so if you're looking to buy, and this is the last piece of information, if you have any questions, drop it in the comments below in the question icon. I'm happy to answer them if I can. But one thing I will say to you is that if you're in the market to buy, forget about if you're in the market to buy. If you're in the market to buy in the next 15 years, if you have kids who are 18, 19, 20, in that age group, the first home savings account, you need to open one, and you should have opened one last year. And the reason why I say this is, so I'm just giving you the highlights, go in and check it out. But the first home savings account is, what they're allowing you to do is put $8,000 each year. Now, someone's going to tell me, where the hell do you think I'm going to get $8,000? But hear me out. Open the account right away. If you don't have one, if you know someone who has kids, open an account right away. You don't have to put $8,000 this year. You can put $1,000. But it's like that tax-free savings account, where you can add and have room so you can add money as you get money. A lot of grandparents, parents who are also deciding to help their kids out that way by, or their grandkids by really kind of, depositing some of this money into that. And what it does is it's tax-free. You're getting that shelter, but you're also not getting taxed on the interest that you're bringing in. 8,000 to a maximum of 40. You have 15 years to actually use that money. Now, if you have a house, obviously you're not a first home buyer kind of person. So that's why I say if it's your kids or younger, or a couple who haven't owned a home before, there's some rules that apply, so check them out. But if you don't have an account and you are looking to get into it, check it out, because I think it is a really good account to have in your back pocket. And in addition to that, you can still use your RRSP. And it's I think $35,000 per person for the RRSP. Now, RSP has rules as well. You have to have your money in the RSP account for 90 days or something to that effect, like money in the account. But in saying that, these are some ways that you can, save money and try and get, I know it's hard to save. So I know it's extremely hard to save, but it's really important to find a way. One of the things people ask, as we get into the new year is, what are your resolutions? And as I mentioned at the start of the video, I don't make resolutions, but I'm also one of these people that if I have my eye on a prize, I'm going to get it. Like, I zone in. It's like that, what did they call it? Like when you're driving, you decide to buy a certain car and then you suddenly notice how many of the same cars are on the street. And, it's kind of like that. It's like I zone into getting whatever I choose to do. Now, I don't know if you have the same sort of way of zoning in, but anything is possible. Everything is possible. Sometimes it may just take a little time, but don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your, set your sights high and go for it. And things will just happen. Things will happen. You know what they say, the more you look at the negative, that's what you're going to get, because that's what you're zoning into and putting all your energy into. But the more you try and take off the negative and zone into the positive and find paths and ways to get to it, things will work out for you. So seeing that you have no questions, and I've talked for like a good little while, next week, tune in, because I'm going to do a show with a mortgage specialist. It'll be quite interesting. I know it's only the 8th and it's not the 24th, but it's going to be interesting to see the trends and what's happening and what's maybe, get. And so if you have questions about a mortgage, it'll be great if you come to that show as well. So next week, again, today it's Tuesday. I know I'm throwing everyone off. It's normally Mondays at 6. So join us next Monday. And at any point, if you have any questions or you have a topic you'd like me to unpack a bit further, I'm happy to do that as well. Just DM me and let me know what you're looking at. It doesn't have to be real estate related. I have all sorts of people on the show, sometimes it's related, sometimes it's stages, sometimes it's mortgage people, but sometimes it's just business people. And it doesn't have to be related to real estate, right? So if there's a topic, that you really want to learn more about, then let me know. I'll try and find someone that has the expertise in that topic to share with you. So until next time, I want to say Happy New Year. Like I said at the start, I think 2024 is going to be full of endless possibilities. It's going to be the most disruptive and disruptive in a good way, I think. But we'll see. So I think it's going to be a very interesting year, and especially for what I do. But nevertheless, I'm launching a new program, and it's for my seniors clients, and I can't wait to share that with you. But I'm launching a new signature program, and as I get a little closer and I'm ready to go, I'll definitely share that with you as well. So until next week, Happy New Year and all the best with whatever you decide for the year. Thank you again for your support and always watching. My name is Jacqueline Watson. I'm a realtor with Sutton Group in Toronto. Thanks again for watching. Bye.